When I was 17, I was walking home from work and two men tried to talk to me. I heard them calling out different names, and like normal, a lot of females know you just keep walking. They kept following me and I heard them screaming more and more about what they were going to do to me. And eventually, they started running after me. I grabbed onto my things and I ran for my life. When they started chasing me, I ran too, but they caught up and one of the men punched me from behind and I fell to the floor. He turned me around and they both started telling me how they were going to rape me and all the things that they would do. They started pulling out my clothes. They threw my bag to the side, which was filled with $400 they didn't even look at because they had something else in mind. While I was fighting for my life, one of the men was able to catch my eyesight, and it was like something clicked for him. It's like he saw something. It was like he had an epiphany, and he literally stopped and pulled the other man off of me and said, "Let's go," and they both ran away. After everything happened that night, I went to sleep after coming back from the hospital and the police reports, and I had a dream, and in the dream, God told me to worship him because he just saved my life. I woke up the next morning and I was pissed off. I was angry. I was irate. I don't know how to describe it. I was angry. I felt like it was the most selfish, self-centered thing that anyone could say to someone who had just been through something like that. And it made me feel like God was this big man in the sky who was just a tyrant, and all he cared about was his worship, and how I felt and what I had just went through meant nothing. I was a good girl. I grew up in church. I led praise and worship. I was one of the leaders of the youth group, and I didn't know how to combat what I was feeling in my heart, so I just kept doing what I was doing. I felt like I hated God. I felt like I didn't want anything to do with him, but I kept leading praise and worship. I went to church. I kept acting like everything was okay. I reached a point eventually where I couldn't handle it anymore, but I didn't know who to turn to. I felt like church was fake. I felt like God was fake. I felt like everything that I knew was fake. How could this happen to me and I feel this way and no one was there in the way that I needed them to be? And I literally sat down one day and I said, "God, I'm completely done with this, and I'm completely done with you. You have one more chance to prove yourself to me. And if you don't come through, I'll give you everything that I have, but if you don't come through, I'm never coming back again." And my life totally changed after all that. God literally became my counselor, exposed things in my heart that I needed to work through. And over time, I got better. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and act like any of this was easy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you all the beautiful things that people tell you. The truth is, sometimes being a Christian is hard. The truth is, sometimes the way that God responds to us is difficult. Looking back now, I can see that he did save my life in that moment. It's funny, there's a man in the Bible, his name is Job, and he has a story where his life is basically perfect. And all of these different turmoils come. And he starts to question, "God, are you good? Are you just? Do you care? Don't you see what I'm going through? Do you not get it?" And he just questions and questions and questions. And at the end, he meets God and he says in the last chapter of the book, "I heard about you before. I heard what they said. I heard they said that you're good. I heard all the things that they repeat about you." But he said, "At the end, I know you." I just want to invite you to come on this journey to know God. I'm not saying it'll be easy. I'm not saying that it'll be perfect, but I promise that it will be worth it.